Curved displays can be helpful for both productivity and gaming, as the edges of the screen are brought closer to you, creating a more immersive experience. There's considerable variation between different models of curved monitors, with options available for gaming or productivity, and with different curvatures as well. A monitor's curvature defines the shape of the curve as a smaller number, like 800R is more aggressive, while a 2500R curve is more subtle. Many curved monitors have a 21.9 ultra-wide aspect ratio, which provides more horizontal screen space than 16.9 monitors. But there are also 4K curved monitors that deliver a ton of detail and sharp images. With the variety of curved monitors out there, choosing the right one can be tricky. That's why in this video, I'll be walking you through the top 5 curved monitors that really stand out this season. To make things easier, I've included links to the best deals for each product down in the description. Keep in mind, the curved monitors aren't ranked in any specific order, so stick around until the end to get the full picture. Let's kick things off. Number 5. Gigabyte GS27QC. If you need a simple and cheap curved monitor, there are a few decent options. Although most have a 16.9 aspect ratio and aren't ultra-wide like the Dell S3422DWG. If you're interested in that, the Gigabyte GS27QC is a decent choice that works well for gaming. It's a step down in overall performance compared to the Dell because it doesn't get as bright, so it's better to use it in a dark room, and it displays deep blacks in dark rooms. Besides that, it has a max 170Hz refresh rate that you can achieve over a DisplayPort connection. But like the Dell, fast-moving objects look blurry and have smear behind them. Though it works well with gaming consoles, without HDMI 2.1 bandwidth and a 4K resolution, it can't take full advantage of them. Unfortunately, the monitor isn't very versatile for other uses as it has narrow viewing angles, but this is the case for most curved entry-level displays anyway. Number 4. Dell S3422DWG. If you don't need a high-end display for gaming or an office-oriented monitor like the Dell U4025QW, and you're on a budget, check out the Dell S3422DWG. It has the same 34-inch screen size, 1440p resolution, and 1800R curve as the Dell Alienware AW3423DWF. But the main trade-off is that it has worse picture quality, which is what you must expect if you want to save some money. Instead of the QD OLED panel, it has an LED backlit LCD panel. So highlights don't pop, and HDR colors aren't as vivid, but it has a good contrast ratio and gets bright enough to fight glare in a well-lit room. It's still an effective low-cost option for gaming. It has VRR support to reduce screen tearing, but fast-moving objects look somewhat blurry and have smears behind them. Additionally, it has narrow viewing angles that make the screen look washed out from the sides, so it's not a good choice for co-op gaming. Luckily, the curved screen brings the edges closer to you, so the sides of the image don't look too washed out. The Dell S3422DWG is decent for PC gaming. Its 144Hz refresh rate is decent enough for most gamers, but it isn't ideal for competitive gaming. It also has only okay response time as there's noticeable blur and smearing with fast-moving objects. It also has distracting VRR flicker with changing frame rates, particularly in dark scenes. That said, it has low input lag for a responsive feel, and its ultra-wide format provides plenty of screen space to view more of your game at once. Although it has a good native contrast ratio and excellent black uniformity, it lacks a local dimming feature to further improve the picture quality in HDR. Number 3. Dell U4025QW. If you don't need gaming features and want a curved monitor only for work, consider the Dell U4025QW. It has fewer gaming features and worse picture quality than both the Dell Alienware AW3225QF and the Dell Alienware AW3423DWF, but the differences don't have a big impact on productivity tasks. However, instead of high-end picture quality, it has a much bigger 40-inch screen with a 5K 2K resolution and high pixel density, producing extremely sharp text. It has many productivity features that make it great for office use, and it doesn't risk permanent burn-in like the QD OLEDs either. Its massive USB hub has 2 of its 5 USB-C ports supporting Thunderbolt 4. This lets you display an image from a compatible laptop and charge it with the same cable. It also has a few handy features, like picture-in-picture, picture-by-picture modes, to display images from 2 sources simultaneously, and a KVM switch that makes it easy to switch between different sources and use the same keyboard and mouse. The Dell U4025QW works exceptionally well for office work, provided you're not in a very bright environment. It has extremely sharp text, and you can easily adjust it to your preferred position for a long work session. It also has a number of extra productivity features, like a KVM switch, at least 90W of power delivery over USB-C, and internal MST support, so you can subdivide the screen into multiple virtual monitors for easier window management. However, while it gets bright enough for most environments, it has trouble overcoming glare in very bright environments, as it doesn't get extremely bright and has only fair reflection handling. Number 2, a Dell Alienware AW3423DWF. If you don't like the 32-inch 16.9 format of the Dell Alienware AW32225QF and prefer an ultra-wide display, check out the Dell Alienware AW3423DWF. It doesn't have HDMI 2.1 bandwidth like the AW32225QF, and with a lower 1440p resolution, games look less detailed. However, the AW3423DWF is cheaper than the AW3225QF, and the extra horizontal screen space provides a more immersive feel for atmospheric games. So there are some considerable benefits. Like the AW32225QF, this monitor has a QD OLED panel, displaying deep and inky blacks in dark rooms with vivid, lifelike colors. It also gets bright enough to make small highlights pop in HDR. It supports all common VRR formats, but if you have an NVIDIA graphics card and want to take full advantage of it with native G-Sync support, consider the Dell Alienware AW3423DW instead. It performs similarly but tends to cost more than the AW3423DWF, so only get it if you want the native G-Sync support. The Dell AW3423DWF is amazing for PC gaming. It has a near-instantaneous response time that makes motion look extremely sharp, and it has low input lag for a responsive feel. It has a max refresh rate of 165 Hz that you can reach over a DisplayPort connection, and it supports all common VRR formats to reduce screen tearing. That said, there's noticeable VRR flicker with changing frame rates, which is disappointing if your PC can't maintain a consistent frame rate. On the plus side, it's a great choice for darkroom gaming, as it displays perfect black levels in a dark room without any blooming around bright objects. Number 1. Dell Alienware AW3225QF. The best curved monitor we've tested is the Dell Alienware AW3225QF. It's a premium monitor focused on gaming and has a 4K 240Hz QD OLED display. It combines outstanding gaming performance with fantastic picture quality. Although you need a high-end graphics card to take advantage of its high 230Hz refresh rate, it provides a smooth and detailed gaming experience. It has a near-instantaneous response time, resulting in crisp motion, and it even has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth to take full advantage of modern graphics cards and gaming consoles. Its QD OLED panel makes it an incredible choice if you just want to sit back and watch HDR content. It has a near-infinite contrast ratio for deep and inky blacks in dark rooms, and it gets bright enough for highlights to pop. It also displays a wide range of colors that look extremely vivid. One thing to note is that OLEDs risk permanent burn-in with constant exposure to the same static elements over time. So if that's a concern for you, check out the Samsung Odyssey Neo G8 S32BG85 instead. It uses mini LED backlighting and doesn't risk burn-in, but its picture quality and motion handling are worse than the Dell. The Dell AW3225QF is outstanding for PC gaming. It has a near-instantaneous response time that results in crisp motion, and it has low input lag for a responsive feel. Its near-infinite contrast ratio and perfect black uniformity are also ideal for darkroom gaming as blacks look deep and inky, and it also gets bright enough to make highlights pop and colors look vivid. While it supports all common VRR formats to reduce screen tearing, there's noticeable VRR flicker with changing frame rates, which is disappointing if your PC can't maintain consistent frame rates.